Hello everyone and welcome to Werven's World. Today I would like to talk about sewage, how you process it and how you turn it into an advantage. So as you can see, if you click on your warehouse in your colony, you can see your colonists recently got very dirty and started producing sewage. As you can see here, I have 155,000 sewage and basically it's just clogging up my warehouse. Of course, that's not very useful because I could be using this warehouse to store more useful things. So what do we do about it? Well, if you go to your research lab, you can actually research a waste management test site. Once you build that, it allows you to research a sewage processing plant. And once you build that, you can start having fun. So let's go to my sewage processing plant. As you can see, the graphics are a bit glitching out. So here I have a sewage plant, and the fun thing is if you build it, let's see, sewage plant, then you see that it doesn't only produce fertilizer, but it also provides some water. So it extracts the water from the sewage and then it puts that back into the system. So in that sense, it also has a bit of a function as a water tower. But its main function is to make fertilizer out of sewage. So it takes sewage and turns it into fertilizer. And fertilizer is very handy to have when you have farms. So let's go to my farming area. Of course, it's not very useful if you don't have farms on your colony. However, I would still recommend building them because then you can turn the sewage into fertilizer, and either you can sell it or bring it to any of your other colonies where you might want it. So I'm going to my orchards now. I don't have very many, but still they produce a fair amount of fruit. At the moment my production though is terrible because my morale went down because I forgot to feed my colonists and they weren't very happy with that, so they're still recovering from that little disaster. So here is my farming area, and when I hover over a orchard, you can see it doesn't only get a bonus from the adjacent workers, but it also gets a bonus from grid connected water. And this grid connected water bonus includes the bonus you get from fertilizer. So basically the only thing you have to do is build sewage processing plants. It will store the fertilizer in your warehouse. As you can see here, I've got 2,400 of it, and the orchards will immediately extract that from your warehouse and use that in order to boost your production, and that boost in production is shown in your grid connected water bonus. So that's basically how you use fertilizer. But there is one more thing I would like to talk about today, and that's a thing I found out recently, that this is not the most efficient way to build your farms. I basically build my farms in the same way as I build my mines, which is basically farm, residential tower, farm, residential tower, all in a checkered pattern. So everybody gets the bonus from 3 residential towers, and that gave me a fair amount of bonus to production. However, if you can see here my little experiment, because someone told me this might be the case, I have a orchard here. This orchard is surrounded by 2 residential towers, and it gets 196 bonus from adjacent workers. So 196 from 2 towers. This orchard is surrounded by 2 water towers, and it gets 218 from adjacent water. So instead of 196 from workers, it gets 218 from water. So it seems to be better to have your farms surrounded by water towers instead of residential towers, because then you get a higher bonus. Of course, I'm not going to rebuild this. I'm already producing more fruit than I can manage with these couple of farms. But if I would produce more farms, then I would definitely surround them with water towers instead of residential towers, because, well, you get a higher bonus, so you get more production and more efficiency. So that's what I wanted to tell. I hope you found it useful, and see you next time.